good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I hope you're doing well. Happy Sunday. It has been a fantastic year for books. This is definitely a personal record of mine. I think I read a total of 16 books, and I documented most of the reading journey throughout this year, but towards the later half, I didn't really show what I was up to and what I was reading. So we're going to be doing that right now, just like catching up a bit. All of it's off the dome. Didn't take any notes. But just didn't get around to it. So now I'm just going to talk off the dome. So it is going to be very sloppy. It's not going to be very coherent. So bear with me, please. Here are the books here that I finished but didn't really give a review of. This is the last book I talked about, The Fires of Vengeance, and such a good duology. Definitely a 5-star duology. I'm pretty sure I've talked about it, but just in case I didn't, it's a solid book. You can watch my review of book number 1. I've talked about it before, definitely talked about it before, so I don't think it's necessary to talk about it now. But the book ended off so good. I thought that this was going to be the last one. I thought it was going to be like Hard the Sun Warrior, where it was just a duology. But no, there's a third one there's a third one that I am patiently waiting for. This is spoilers, but Tao got his revenge, but it was kind of like a what now moment. It's not like he felt immediate satisfaction from it. But now him and Queen Siora, they got a bigger fish to fry now, which I'm looking forward to seeing how that entire thing goes. 5 stars. Next up, we got Sula. This is a book I talked about in my TBR video. My TBR, I completely strayed away from my TBR. I did not read half of the books that I had on my TBR, but I ended up reading other ones instead. There's beautiful themes, beautiful layers to it. The parallels between Sula and Nell, the main characters, tell a story in itself, but everything around it is just crazy. I was not expecting as much death as it is in this book, mental movie. But it's Toni Morrison. She blew me away with Song of Solomon, and she blew me away with this book. This is a solid read with themes of gentrification, the repercussions of war, friendships and relationships within the Black community. Such a beautifully layered, deep, and wild book. 4 stars for me. From me. This book is so funny. Dungeon Crawler Carl. I know that this is a big one amongst Book Talk, BookTube. Well deserved. Now, the humor isn't really my type of humor. It has kind of like a Rick and Morty type of humor, but it was still funny. This is one book that has made me laugh out loud. I've had books that have made me laugh and chuckle, but like this book had me laughing out loud. And specifically the audiobook. In a lot of Dungeon Crawler Carl reviews, you will see people telling you to listen to the audiobook, and I'm adding to that because the audiobook is so much fun. The effects and the narrator kills it. I guess I'm not really giving like a rundown of these books, or like I haven't like explained what these books are about. I'll just try and sum it up in one sentence. Carl is a human on Earth. Earth gets wiped out, and the remaining people on Earth have to fight in this dungeon to survive. And he's with his cat, Princess Donut, who is hilarious. I'm so glad that the second and third ones are out now. So now whenever I get to it, I can get to it. It's not like it's not like the Fires of Vengeance where I have to wait for whenever it comes out, who knows when. So this is gonna be a book that I plan to have finished, or a series that I plan to have finished by the end of 2026. Keyword plan, it might not happen. Next up, we got The Man Who Lived Underground. I finally got to this book. Someone recommended it to me in a comment, which I really appreciate. I was not expecting it to end the way that it did. The book is about Fred Daniels. He is wrongfully arrested for a murder that he did not commit. He escapes from the cops and he hides out in a sewer system. And there we see him spiral, and he sees the world from underground, which opens up a number of discussions on religion and racism in America. The book is deep. It opens up a lot of conversation. And once again, I was not expecting it to end the way that it did. And the way that he just, as a spoiler, the way he just got I'll get a beat. The way he just got shot and killed in the end, and that was it. And then afterwards, it was sort of Richard Wright giving his like debrief of how he wrote it and why he wrote it. It was crazy. It was a crazy read. I was not nearly expecting it to go about the way that it did. So it was an experience in itself, and it just makes you think about racism in America. It was another 4-star read for me. Next up, we have Beast Player. I was at my local library and I found it, and it was good. So I got a physical copy of it myself. The main character, Aleen's mom, is murdered, executed, and during the execution, Aleen tries to save her, but then she's about to get killed herself, so her mom reveals the secret that she's able to control magical beast, which then takes Aleen to this faraway island where she starts a new life. She is raised by this beekeeper, and then she begins, after a few years, she goes to this beast, a school where you learn to take care of beast, essentially. And she takes on the task of taking care of this royal beast. The royal beasts are one of the greatest beasts, as it's called the royal beast. And we see how her and the royal beast name is, I think it's something with an L. Leland. I didn't even have to find it. It's Leland. Leland. Watching them evolve, watching their relationship evolve between Aleen and Leland, Aleen, and Leland, kind of gave me How to Train Your Dragon vibes, because these beasts are kind of tools used by the government, or they're used as tools by the government, sort of represents power and all that good stuff. So seeing her break past those barriers that they try and place on the beast by means of control, and seeing her naturally grow to not only learn more about herself, but also learn more about the beast and have the beast understand more about themselves, the trials and tribulations of it all, the beauty of taking care of another life. It's a beautiful read. Now, the ending did end kind of abruptly. I'm not going to spoil it, even though I've provided a bunch of other spoilers, but I felt like I was wanting more from it by the end of it. But there is a second book that I'm sure would like satisfy that. But that's just me. Even though there was politics and death and a bunch of heavier themes, it was cozy. There were parts of it that was cozy to read, such as watching her grow up with the beekeeper and the process of her taking care of Leland. So it was a good mix between cozy but also serious read. I give this a 3.5. And that's pretty much it for my recent reads. Now that the year is almost up, I hope you all had a happy holiday. I am going to talk about the top 3 books of this year. Number 3, we got Stoner. I don't know if I gave Stoner 4 or 5 stars, but either way, when I was first giving it a review, I did not gas it up as much as I gas it up now. Because the more I sit with it, and it's just such a memorable book. I don't know what kind of effect it had on me, to where like initially I was like, oh, it's a good book, but like it's not like a top book, you know what I mean? But like naturally, as I was going about the year and the book sat with me more, it just rose up. It just rose up to the top for me. It's one of my favorites because I can't even fully explain why. Something about like the layers underneath the normalcy, the overall passage or the overall experience of seeing him from the start to end of his life. It's not like I really like him as a main character, but the story itself, it's just such a calm yet profound story. That's the best few words I can use to sum it up. We have Heart of the Sun Warrior. I've gassed up the Celestial Kingdom duology this entire year. I've talked about it, mentioned it, because it's a great duology. I love it so much. Sula and Tan eats. It gags. Rage of the Dragons was neck and neck with this one, but I feel like the mix between romance and action and the main character's evolution really is what made it in the top 3. And Song of Solomon. It's deep, with layers and really made me open my eyes more to certain topics. And it's just such a beautiful read. It was my first Toni Morrison book, so getting a glimpse, seeing Toni Morrison's writing, how deep it is, how beautifully she writes. It was an experience, and it is the most memorable reading experience I had this year. So that is why this is my #1 read. But anyways, before the year ends, I just want to talk about books I read recently and some of my favorite books this year. So hope you enjoyed it. Once again, I hope you have a great rest of your year. New Year's is coming up. Hope you have a happy New Year. And yeah, I'll see you when I see you. Hope you have a great rest of your day, night, evening, whatever. Peace.